And there it is. Metaphor ReFantazio. Finally finished. According to Steam, I've spent like 74 point something hours in the game during my run, which is about right, I think, for an Atlas game. This game has some of the best writing I've ever experienced in a video game. Like, some of the absolute best writing I've ever experienced in a video game. And that is why, without question, I knew even like 20-odd% of my way in the game, but at this point it's undeniable. This is the game of the year. The writing is absolutely masterful. It had me in tears multiple times, and it just filled me with this sense of like hope and awe, and just touched my soul on levels like few games do. I'm an emotional person, I know I am, but because of that, I'm kind of used to things, you know, I'm kind of used to being emotional over, like, media, but so it hardens me a little bit over time, if that makes sense. So when a video game has such masterful writing and beautiful characters, and it just breaks through that, and just makes me break down in tears numerous times, and just be in absolute awe of the writing and the poetry behind the writing, and just how much that writing just makes me full of hope, and just like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a game that makes me happy sad, you know. It's a game that devastates me and makes me feel like I want to just like I'm grieving, but then later on will give me this just sense of hope that things can be better. Like, it is fucking beautiful, man. It is Atlas's magnum opus, and it will be my game of the year, my top 5 this year. I'm spoiling it right now. It is truly a thing of beauty. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I really did. The job system, the movement, the combat, in which like they cut out a lot of the bloat with how you engage, cuts down a lot of the pointless grinding and makes it a little bit more enjoyable. I don't hate turn-based combat. I actually quite like it, and I don't like the trend of removing turn-based and going into action combat that JRPGs have done over the past few years, thanks to people needing keys jangled in the face 24/7. But I do like this kind of change that I've seen a lot of JRPGs do, where they allow you to just destroy instantly enemies that you would have done anyway in turn-based combat, because that's the kind of thing that makes turn-based combat really repetitive for people. Is it's a lot of animation going on just for a second of combat where you one-shot the enemy, and then a lot of animation to get out of it again. So if you only enter turn-based combat for enemies in which you can't basically one-shot without effort, that makes fights more interesting, and it also gives you a sense of growth and progression when you can one-shot or take down enemies outside of turn-based combat who prior you had to enter turn-based combat to kill. It feels as well with the UI, it feels like this is like the end point of the like Persona color theory UI design that we've been seeing. The UI in this game is beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. It's like a masterful painting. Speaking of masterful painting, a lot of the enemies are taken straight from Hieronymus Bosch's work, which I noticed right away with like the fish people and the second human thing you fight with like the disc and the little characters running around it. That sounds like the ball has just hit my door again. I fucking hate kids. But yeah, it is a thing of fucking beauty. A thing of fucking beauty, and it was without question my game of the year. And oh my god, the music. I do think Persona music is better. Like, Persona music overall, I can just listen to my day-to-day life and do. This, I can't quite as much. It's more generic kind of like fantasy fare. But the fucking rapping monk? Oh, I love it, dude. Combat is just epic all the time with this guy. I fucking love the rapping monk. It's some of the most enjoyable parts of it, especially the moments where we got like the rapping monk in it, this dude, as well as like that female singer that adds a lot of soul to it as well. It's just orchestral and epic and beautiful, and again, that feeling of hope even in dire situations. Ah, it's beautiful. Atlus's magnum opus. Metaphor ReFantazio is one of the best games I've ever played, and without question, the game of the goddamn year.